The 2023 NFL Draft set a new record, 43 trades.
They're going to say TV ratings, which I think it did as well.
Yeah.
43, wow.
43 trades, a
I
lot
knew my
of
head was
movement
spinning,
going
that's why,
on.
yeah.
Yep. Do you love the aggressiveness from the Houston Texans, who arguably made the biggest trade?
Yeah. It's tricky. So if you're a Texans fan, you do love it because C.J. Stroud, the quarterback, they turn around and trade it back up to number 3, which is almost unprecedented.
You're like, please do something, and then they
right.
did.
I mean,
Yes.
that's pretty something to take Will Anderson, the edge rusher from Alabama. So you've got 2 transcendent players that are going to make that team better for hopefully a decade.
Right.
Amazing.
Yes.
But they way overpaid. I mean, if you look at the draft charts, which assign point system to each pick, they overpaid about 33%.
Oh.
There's inflation like the price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of trading in the NFL is way up. So to move from what the Texans moved from 12 to 3, in 1991 that cost a second-round pick. Now it costs a first, which is an amazing inflation. So did the Texans get their guys? Yes, and they overpaid. Jerry Jones always tells us, guys, I've never been disappointed for something I overpaid for in my life. I've regretted paying that much, but the product that I paid for, I've always been happy with. So Texans fans, enjoy your players because you gave a little too much capital.
Yep. After a lot of speculation about the evaluation of running backs, 2 running backs ended up getting drafted within the top 12 selections. And before the draft, people were thinking, where is Bijan Robinson going to go? Is he going to go top 10? Is he going to even go in the first round?
Right.
2 running backs, top 12. What do you make of this?
Did not see this one coming because, it's the death of the running back.
Right.
And Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas just gets cut. And he's, still got a lot of tread on the tire. I think these are 2 special players in Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs because they're not just running backs. They're 3 down players, which in the NFL now is like, they're what? Because a lot of teams we got our first down back, we got our short yardage back, we got our screen back, we got our quick back.
Running back by committee.
Running back by committee. And those eat up roster spots. So how valuable is it to have a Bijan Robinson, plug him in Atlanta and say, you're a 3 down back. Right. Now, the reason he can do this is because he's so skilled as a receiver. Gibbs and Bijan Robinson with 8 touchdown passes, catches each in college, which that proves right there they can do this. So, it's kind of reinventing or reminding us, there's still running backs out there that can stay on the field a long time.
Yeah.
So I was surprised by it, but I think that for the most part, teams are still going to do it by committee, but these are 2 special guys.
Can't wait to watch them. Now that we can look at the post-NFL draft rosters, let's take a look at which team we feel like improved the most. Now, of course, every single NFL team during their Sunday press conference
nailed
after
it.
the draft is like, we improved our football team. We are definitely going to compete.
What if they didn't improve their team? No matter who they are, what if they came in and go, we got worse today? That would be a good trick.
But who do you feel like really did improve the most?
Okay, so I think this is easy, but you got to bear with me because of where they're starting.
Okay.
The Texans won 3 games last year.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do a lot to get better, but they've done a lot to get a lot better, I think. With C.J. Stroud, we watched Texans games last year, and I come in here like Davis Mills is not the guy. Just because of C.J. Stroud, who I do think is going to be, a Dak Prescott-esque. They've already gotten better. 2-3 wins just for him.
Right.
You add Will Anderson to that, and then D'Amico Ryans as the head coach.
Lot
They're
of
so
pressure.
much better than they were a year ago. Most improved team of the year. Not only are they going to make the playoffs, but say goodbye to 3-win teams, and the draft is a big reason.
Yeah, that's exciting. Let's talk about post-NFL draft rosters. When we look at the different moves that everyone made, was there a team that you're like, oh my gosh, they got a steal?
Yeah. So I look at the Texans as improving the best because they started so low. But a team that made the playoffs last year and got a lot better, I think, is the Seattle Seahawks.
I agree 100%.
With Witherspoon as a plug-and-play cornerback. You got the Auburn edge rusher, and you got Smith and Jigba, a receiver from Ohio State.
Right.
Those are 3 guys that are going to start on a team that went to the playoffs, and that's what you should do. You got 3 picks in the top 37. You got to hit home runs.
Right.
I think Pete Carroll hit 3 home runs. Seattle improved. I think they did the most with what they had in the first round and the second round.
Yeah, but you can tell they're going to make some noise in their division this year.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles, of course.
The Philadelphia Bulldogs, right? I mean, they're not going to be more improved because they went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They became 3 points within winning the championship.
The
So
rich
it's
get richer.
It's hard to say, boy, we got a lot better because
Right.
you're almost the best. But you raid the roster of the most dominating defense in the history of college football. I think that's pretty safe picks. And yeah, if you're in the NFC East, you're like, how are we going to score on these guys next year?
After the NFL draft, every team feels like they improved a ton. They got
all 32.
all of
We're
their
better.
Goals achieved, check mark.
Yep.
But is there a team you're like, their draft didn't go so well?
I'm still trying to figure out what the Patriots did.
You're not still thinking about Cole Strange, are you?
This is like deja vu.
Yeah.
I mean, far be it for me to question Bill Belichick,
Right.
but 2 years in a row, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They traded, not just drafted, they traded up for a kicker in the 4th round.
Yeah.
And not just a kicker, Chad Rowland from Maryland, not that impressive. Didn't even win the Luke Rose Award as the nation's best kicker. So that one, you're like, what are we doing? And then let's top it. Let's draft a punter as well. A punter. There's teams that just go, personnel guy, give me a kicker and a punter, and you're off the street. And they turn out being serviceable. They're spending draft capital on a kicker and a punter. First NFL team in 40 years to draft a kicker and a punter in the same draft.
Maybe they know something we don't know.
Last time was the Raiders, and they didn't know anything. It was Sebastian Janikowski, who turned out to have a great career, and Shane Leckler, but the Raiders didn't win any Super Bowls with those guys. I mean, the Patriots had 11 picks. They had a lot, but they have glaring holes. They still don't have a number one receiver. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster, but he's basically a trade for Jacoby Myers. The Patriots need weapons on offense. They had one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Well, maybe they got a kicker.
Yeah.
Maybe
their kicker can
maybe they're going to win games 10-9 next year. You go get them, Bill.